Welcome to the Yoo Podcast. My name is Sebastian.
Jose, guys.
How's it going?
Not bad.
Welcome to the new office.
The new office, yeah. New setup.
We decided to change a little bit. We are going to probably build one at the shop. This is next door at my trucking company, but it's a lot quieter, right?
Yeah,
we
definitely.
Have people come in.
Yeah, the guys
around.
are working right now.
Yeah. And we should definitely, we're going to build one. I want to build one up above the office. So when we sit down, you're going to see the
overview, the view of the shop,
view
right?
Of the shop, yeah. So we'll do that. But today we're going to talk about what is a glider kit and why is it a good idea to buy one.
Yeah.
We are definitely fans of glider kits, and I think it's going to be, other than the video that we have on our channel, me talking about glider kits, I think it's a good topic.
Good topic, yeah, to retouch.
To retouch and kind of bring up models and
options, engine options,
yeah. And what's going on with gliders and why is it even a good idea to buy one. So anything update as far as the shop? We have, what do we have that happened last week? I wasn't here, I was off, but no, last week I was here. I was 2 weeks ago I wasn't here, but I was in Poland. Did you see the cab over video?
Yeah, I saw that with the Scania.
Yeah. I have a video going live. It's going to be about the interior, so it's coming tonight. I don't know when this one's going to publish, probably Friday. So you're going to see the interior of the cab over.
I saw it, yeah.
And I get a couple more. I got like a walk around engine, so I'm going to edit that and do that.
I would have never thought that you would have a double bunk in such a, like,
I know, yeah.
That cab, it looks pretty small.
It's pretty small, and then you have not only that, but some of them have the bed right above the driver on the front side of the truck. Yeah,
I think I saw online they were some of the Cascadias or something. They were coming out with like a 3-bunk setup, and that's one of the options, like you mentioned.
Yeah. That's
right on top of the
I think
driver.
I've seen that. Yeah. Interesting. I don't know why would you have so many drivers in the. With team, you can pretty much do everything. But. Okay, yeah, well, that's a good podcast. I have a driver now. He's a dispatcher. I think I was just thinking about bringing him in on the podcast to talk about, like, he's got a really decent amount of experience around different types of driving, and I think it would be nice. Like, I did a lot of team driving too, so that would be a good one. It just kind of came to my head. But projects as far as in the shop, finishing up our overhaul, which is taking a little longer than we expected, but we have another one that we have to do.
Yeah, outer frame.
Yeah.
Flywheel housing is leaking on that one. The front cover is leaking on it, and we have coolant leaking from the block.
Yeah.
So it's
not
overhaul.
good.
Not good. No.
We are definitely gonna. That's gonna sit, but in between the projects and everything that we're doing, it's just. Well, I'm just going to have you focus on that. I'm not going to have you do anything else. We need to whip it out as soon as possible, and that's not good. But other than that, nothing really crazy as far as customer stuff, did we? We had one that had a problem with ISX. What was it, 909? I think he's scrapping it.
He had a coolant in the oil.
Yeah, he's scrapping it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was 09.
It had high mileage, though. It was like 1,200, I think.
Yeah. So that's about it. So glider kits. Let's talk about glider kit. Why is it a good idea to buy one? What is a glider kit? Can you explain briefly? What is a glider kit?
A glider kit is you're buying a new chassis, new cab, basically brand new truck without the new engine, without emissions engine.
Without the driveline, yeah.
Driveline,
so it's a hollow body, hollow chassis you buy from the manufacturer. And it comes with the front axle, and then no engine, and just cab, interior, all that stuff. And it's the manufacturing date is new. So if you buy one right now, it's going to say 2020.
They give 1-year warranty on that feature, though, right? From what I was reading.
Yeah, depends.
Like on the cab, right?
Yeah, but you can also get additional warranty, and then depending on where you're building, you get 3 or
5 year. I saw.
Yeah. You can buy that, obviously, but
that's more for like engine and drivetrain, I believe, right?
Yes, yeah. So gliders are so why people build gliders then?
who wants to go with an emissions engine? Who wants to be buying all those NOx sensors? Everything adds up. All those EGR coolers, EGR valves.
So the purpose of the
Lower
glider
maintenance
kits
costs.
was so I'll give you a little bit of background here. When you that people call it a loophole, but it was established a long time ago where they would let you build a new a glider kit, buy a glider kit truck, and use your old components from your truck. So if you wrecked it or something happened to it, you could have pulled that drivetrain, put it into a new chassis, and just keep using it, right? Since engines and transmissions are so expensive, that law would allow you to reuse your components. And that was one of the laws that, as we started increasing emission standards in the early 2000s, it didn't look as appealing as it in the early 2000s as it did later when we started having DPF and the SCR, because now people started figuring out.
They started doing their math and they're like, oh, this SCR gets expensive.
Yeah. So, and then it's pretty much getting a truck that's a lot more reliable. An owner operator could easily invest. They were a little bit cheaper. Now I wouldn't say, depending on what truck specs you're looking at, but it's still around $130,000. So it is a little bit cheaper, but at the same time, it's more about the reliability and the headache-free operating. And as we know, a lot of interest from smaller fleets, which we do as well. We have a lot of those gliders, and I really wanted to, how should I say this? Invest more in grow with gliders. The problem is they're on the used market. They're holding their prices because now people figured it out that they're
reliable.
Yeah, and people holding to their trucks just because they don't want to. I mean, it's so reliable that you can it's even a lot. It makes a lot more sense to rebuild the engine, and you still know you're not going to have high bills, emissions related bills, obviously. And so what glider kit is, I just kind of want to go back to our topic, is you can buy the chassis. And so let's talk about first around the chassis that are available that people build, because there's few manufacturers that we're not going to talk about. It's more about what's out there on the market. I think you can research it, but what's available in the market for chassis. Give me the chassis that I can build a glider, and then we'll go to the engine.
Okay, yeah. So they have the Peterbilts, they have the Pete 388s and the 389s. They have the Freiliners, you have the Cascadia, the Columbias, the Coronados, Kenworths, the T800, W900s, and the Western Star, also.
Yes, the Western Star is I've
very few. I don't like the.
You don't like them? Yeah, I see why people like them. I'm I think they're okay. They're okay. It's more about, obviously out of those, I would say the Coronado we have them and I like them. I've driven them and I think they're very good. They're very comfortable because of the longer chassis. The Pete is a Pete, and then the Kenworths. So there's a good variety of chassis that you can choose from.
Probably that Coronado is probably like, if you're gonna be like over the road, that's the one that has the most room. Yeah. Like you mentioned.
Yeah. The sleeper is
out of all the options out there, I would say sleeper's the biggest one.
And it's probably because I know the Pete's and the Kenworths are more expensive.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So if you're looking at kind of a classic, cool looking truck, that Coronado is a good solution.
Yeah, the W900 is a nice truck. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've been in one before. Have you noticed how close the driver and the passenger seat are? Real close.
Yeah, it is. The Coronado is a lot roomier. It's wider. You could question the build quality, but at the same time, it is what it is. You're not gonna, if you're very careful with the problem with Freightliners is you take the dash apart and then it's so hard to put it back together.
Everything gets brittle and it starts breaking apart.
Yeah. Have you ever experience with like disassembling dash at a W900?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Never had any issue of.
Does it go back together? Well.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's definitely. the chassis options that you have are there's pretty much everything for anybody. Like if you have the specific, like you can go with the Cascadia, which is great. Like we have 2 of them and they're awesome. Like I love
newer
those.
body look.
Yeah, and they're quieter. And then Coronados a little bit. The ones we have already have a lot of mileage on them, but they were tight. I bought them new, and they were very comfortable to drive. I would say you're looking at the 500,000 mile mark. Things are starting to fall apart, you just have to kind of be careful. But as any truck, even well-built truck, if you're not taking care of the interior, it's just going to start looking trashy. It's going to start beating up, So all right, so you have the chassis. Now you go to the engines.
They have a Detroit Caterpillar. They have the Cummins N14 and the ISX.
The ISX, the pre-EGR.
Pre-EGR, yeah, correct. Yeah. And I just found that out too.
I didn't know that, to be honest with you.
I thought it was just those 3. It was N14, Detroit for sure, and Cat.
C15, I know. The obviously 12.7 is what we go with. I have seen the N14s actually. As a matter of fact, I know somebody that had them, and I almost bought them, but
why didn't you go that route?
Since we have so many 12.7s, I want to keep it simple for.
Did you ever have any experience with the N14?
Yeah, I had a day cab, and then we had our tow truck is a
the N14,
yeah, which it's not putting a lot of mileage, but it's running perfectly. It's probably has over 1 million right now.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, and then the other one I had was a day cab. It was a lower mileage, never had any issues, just used it locally.
Okay.
So definitely a good engine. But out of those 3, I didn't know the ISX was actually put in, but I think there's also a 14-liter pre-GR Detroit available, right?
There is.
Somebody else is building them on Freightliner chassis with. Are they in Cascade? No, they're in Coronados.
Coronados.
Yeah. I don't know if you could spec it with a Cascadia though. I don't really know why would you. But
I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. I mean, the only thing would be just the OEM harness. That's the OEM harness and the engine harness configuration. Everything else should fit.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. So it's definitely there are options. There's other manufacturers that build them with only C15s, right?
C15s, yeah.
I haven't seen, to be honest with you, a lot of C15s. I know they're out there, and I know Pete with a C15 glider is a desirable truck, which I understand. But I think those 3, the N14, 12.7, and C15 is the most common one.
And you would definitely pick the Detroit, right? What's your one after that? Which one?
I would do the Detroit, and then to be honest with you, I would have to test out the Kenworths. I like it depends. Like I always think, like for myself or for the fleet, right? Like it's like for myself, I would probably restore an older truck. If I was gonna hop back into trucking and just I would really like customize something older, but if I was gonna go with a glider, it would probably be the Kenworth.
For your personal use, though, right?
Yeah. I do like the Coronados. Again, it depends on like what kind of work I would want to pick and what I would want to do. But OTR, cool-looking, affordable, reliable Coronado 12.7 is like you can make them look really cool. But the same thing with Pete's and Kenworth. So it's just so why is it a good idea to buy one? Let's maybe go back a little. So I told you that when you're supplying, when I mentioned that you take your drivetrain and you put it in the truck that was in a new chassis that you got, then you would have to provide the transmission and
the rear ends,
and the rear ends, right? And then when you had builders, if you went to buy a glider kit, then it kind of changed into, okay, I want to buy the glider kit, but I really don't have those components. What do I do? Right, and then now the builders are like, okay, we'll just provide it for you.
Yeah, we have.
You just buy the transmission from us and buy the engine from us. We already have it rebuilt.
Yeah, we have it in stock. It's not all.
And then everybody picked up on it, and fleets started building it like crazy because there are fleets that buy them in hundreds, and the limit right now is 300 per builder, and that's what actually, choked pretty significantly the entire industry, because one of the builders was building in thousands, and all of a sudden they were
got limited
downsized to 300.
Which is 300 in the whole year. That's nothing.
That's one order for one fleet.
Yeah.
It's so. But what's the negative side of glider kits? Why are we limiting the production, and why the previous administration was so strict about limiting, even getting rid of the entire glider kit? Let's go loophole.
I would say they aren't making enough money on the sensors. No sensors are being sold. Emission related, yeah. Well, so no DF fluid is being sold with the gliders, so there's that's being cut down.
Well, do you think it's more? Don't you think it's more about? Yeah, I mean, I agree to some extent. I think it's more about the narrative of pollution and how trucks pollute the air versus new emissions that are so strict, but at the same time it creates such high unreliability in those that the turnover is a lot quicker. Fleets just dump trucks all the time, so you all of a sudden have a lot more used trucks. That it's reflected in prices too. Like, look at the emissions 2015-16 trucks. They're cheaper than gliders, right? And the gliders are expensive because there's a demand for it. People want them and they're reliable. There's just so many trucks to choose from right now.
Yeah, definitely.
We are in a slower market, obviously, and there's a lot more used trucks on the market. But still, even 2018, when I was looking at the market, there was still a ton of trucks. So the fleets dump them a lot quicker. And I don't know. I'm not an expert in this. I think I look at more reliability in the lifetime of a truck.
Yeah, longevity.
And I'll dump it after 300,000 miles.
300,000, yeah. Well, I would say, like we mentioned before, like the fleets, they like to get rid of their trucks at before the warranty is over, 500,000 or 300,000.
Oh, 3. A lot of them 3. If they see 5, I'm like, no,
it's too close to the.
Yeah. But it's if you're a small fleet, and small I mean between 10 or 1 to 100, 300 trucks, then you really have to watch your costs. The big guys, the more trucks you have, the better deals you can make. And if you're really, like, maintenance is a very important part of your P&L. If you're comparing 1-to-1, it's a lot cheaper to maintain those gliders. Your cost drops significantly. And that's why they're starting to get so popular. And I wish they took the limit off. I think it just, if the emissions of the new trucks are so unreliable, it's so hard for a small guy to be in the business. Yeah. It's like like having the we'll fix it, it's on warranty, but not only it's expensive, but now I don't have a truck because you're fixing it for 2-3 weeks, and then the diagnostics, and then you come back again, and the unreliability. I've experienced that personally, and go rent a truck. It's additional cost,
Yeah,
on already low rate.
Well, like we've seen with the whole emissions, the cold weather, it's affecting the whole DF.
Yeah.
Also, we've had some drivers. One of our big accounts, he brings his trucks. The truck isn't regenning. Well, there's no DF in the truck.
Yeah.
How's it supposed to run the regen?
Yeah.
And it derated on him.
Yeah. Yeah. Driver errors, obviously. Again, it's like the overall, just being accountable for what you're doing behind the wheel. That goes to the driver, but also the owner providing the help for them to learn, making sure, if somebody doesn't know what they're driving, just make sure you communicate well enough about, hey, this truck is an emission truck. Make sure you're prepped.
So many miles to put in some DF, or keep an eye on this gauge.
And especially the going lower than the fourth
The quarter,
in DEF is like super important.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned that before in previous videos because of many reasons, but now we switched to emissions. But ultimately, why is it such a good idea to buy one? It is because it's a lot less expensive to run a glider kit. And frankly, what I've observed is I have owners asking me a lot, what trucks to buy, and I always tell them buy gliders.
Glider, yeah.
Like just pick from gliders whatever you want, and it's simple as that. But what I found they're doing is they're attracted by the lower price of the emission truck, right? Not knowing what it's going to cost them to fix or what money they have to add on later on, and it's been on and on. The same thing I've been seeing. We sit down, we talk, where they listen to our videos or podcasts, we talk. They see my fleet because it's like just watch what I do, and then all of a sudden they show up with an emission truck, right? And I'm like, okay, I'll respect that decision, but just make sure you understand what you're getting yourself into, and that you're gonna have bills.
Yeah, definitely.
And how many times we had guys buy trucks, and all of a sudden he's spending the same amount, if not more, on fixing all the issues that the
on the toll bills.
Yeah, and the toll bills plus the toll bills. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we touched on many different things that are about glider kits that are important. And what else would you want to add? I think we got chassis, drivetrains. Is there anything else?
Engines. Overall, I mean, if you want to avoid those toll bills, glider's the way to go. Mm-hmm. And we know those toll bills add up real quick.
Well, and plus, if you go down with a glider in Nebraska, you're gonna get it fixed like quicker than a new
emission,
truck. Yeah, right. Especially, I remember having issues somewhere in the middle of the states, and then there's no dealership anywhere, right? And try to pull it into a shop that doesn't really know how to diag. They don't have the equipment, so they're just shooting blank, trying to figure it out. Oh, we have to order parts. The dealer is.
You gotta wait 2 days or whatever the case is, and that's downtime, and that's obviously costing you more. Not only the parts that they're throwing at it, but the downtime. It's all gonna add up.
Yeah. So definitely fans of gliders. I think we should shoot more videos around the gliders we have. I feel like what would be beneficial, and you guys can comment under the video or let us know, but I would want to bring up our repair bills for some of our gliders and kind of show what because we've had them for years, like what we've done. And I would want to say I would compare it to an emission truck, but we don't have any emission trucks that are newer, like 2014, 15, 16. So
no,
unless we could pull records from one of our customers, and we'll figure it out. But I think it would be interesting to kind of show, what's the maintenance on a comparable year glider.
Yeah, that'd be definitely a good comparison for them.
Versus,
and then also you can maybe just do a quick walk around on one of the Cascadias.
Yeah.
Pop the hood. This is what a 12.7 in a Cascadia looks like.
Yeah, definitely. Perfect. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
What are we gonna be doing next? Some basic set of hand tools.
The next episode is coming out. It's gonna be around basic tools for drivers, then owners. Right. So like intermediate and advanced kind of knowledge, or like what is it good for you to carry in the truck. Yeah. And that's also on if you're running an older truck versus a newer truck. Do I want to have a computer with me if I'm advanced and I can diag my own truck and run?
Yeah. Well, they also sell some cheap diags for like $500. I mean, it's on the cheaper side compared to buying like a purchase.
Yeah. But there are. I mean, that's. I think we got enough. I think we should definitely touch more around glider kits in the future and do some more content around that. So give us feedback. Let us know in the comments. Thank you for listening. Share, subscribe, and talk to you soon.